Earl May, deceased. May Seed and Nursery Company, and KMA Radio. Born in 1890 on a ranch in western Nebraska, Earl May realized early in life that he had a knack for selling. In 1919, he founded a successful mail order and retail business, Earl May Seed and Nursery Company.
Well, Earl was born in Hayes Center, Nebraska, and was born and raised there on a small farm ranch, and spent his formative years there. And I think he was a very hard worker throughout his whole life, and I'm sure those were some of the values that came from living out there and working hard out there. And he attended the University of Michigan for a year, but then his father died, so he moved back to Hayes Center and helped with the farm, and actually was the high school principal there for a while. And then he went back to college and finished up at the University of Nebraska in Lincoln, where he met my grandmother, who was from Shenandoah, Iowa. And her father was a wholesale nurseryman, and he grew nursery stock in different parts of the country, including here in southwest Iowa.
Well, in 1919, when he started, it was primarily garden seed sales through catalogs, and then he started, I think they actually called them outposts. They were temporary or seasonal setups for the spring season, and then eventually it grew from that into more of a year-round store.
The pivotal turning point in the growth and success of Earl May Seed can likely be attributed to Mr. May's foresight into the opportunity that radio had to offer. In 1923, he began traveling to Omaha to broadcast his popular radio program on WOAW. In 1925, he opened his own radio station, KMA.
And I believe that his best decision was to go into radio, and that's really for a couple of different reasons. First of all, it gave him the platform to promote his seed nursery business as well as his catalog business, which was important to him at the time. And so that was very important. And then secondly, in the 1940s, television was starting to come along. And that was the next progression for our family's business, was to get into the television business in Omaha. And in 1949, we signed on Channel 3, one of two stations that had licenses allocated for the city of Omaha. And so I think that had we not been in the radio business, we wouldn't have probably been in the television business.
Earl was described as having a big personality, both on radio and in the copy he wrote for his mail order catalogs. He provided product and planting advice, as well as personal anecdotes that made readers feel like real friends.
He just said, "Farmers, I know you need the seed. If you just let me know how much you need, and we'll get it to you. You can pay me later." End of the season, he got checks, blank checks.
Nebraska was an important part of the growth and success of Earl May's business ventures.
I just think that he went to Nebraska first with his stores because that's where he was from. So he knew the people, and he just knew it would be a good place to go.
Nebraska has been very important to our family, from a business standpoint, from a quality of life standpoint, from the people that we've interacted with over the years. And it all started with my grandfather.
While Earl May died in 1946, his legendary expertise lives on today.
Our family is deeply honored to be receiving this recognition for him. And you hope that over time, some of the things that he started, that the radio stations hopefully provided some additional service to people, maybe help them in certain ways at certain moments in their life. The products of the Seed Nursery Company hopefully were of value to people, and I think that was what he'd hoped for, and the fact that we're all still around, there must be some truth to that.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Ed May, and I'm the grandson of Earl May. Joining me is Gordon Sherman and his sister, Melinda Driscoll, who are the great-grandchildren of Earl May. And on behalf of our entire family, the three of us would like to thank the Nebraska Chamber of Commerce and Industry for Earl's induction into the Nebraska Business Hall of Fame, and we're really thrilled about this, and we're deeply honored. We'd also like to thank Roberta Pinkerton at the Chamber, who's been a pleasure to work with, and we worked with her on that video. And finally, I'd like to thank our good friend Ton Ostergaard, who was kind enough to nominate Earl for this Hall of Fame. As we study the names of the people who have been inducted in the Hall of Fame, along with the inductees tonight, we feel extremely honored that Earl is in their company. Earl was a Nebraskan, born, raised, and educated in the state. And as you saw, he had numerous business interests in Nebraska, and he'd be extremely pleased with this honor. We'd also like to briefly mention his wife, Gertrude. No one accomplishes a lot entirely on their own. She was an excellent partner with Earl, and no doubt was extremely helpful in decisions and actions that helped him achieve his success. We continue the legacy that Earl started years ago. Gordon and Melinda are involved in Earl May Seed Nursery, which is in its 96th year of business. And I'm involved in KMA Radio, and we're celebrating our 90th year of broadcasting. So thank you once again for this award. Our family is truly honored and grateful.